we go. All right, all work is due next Friday. Your next test is next Friday for Unit 2. And the reason why everything is due next Friday is that way we have a little cushion between next Friday, the 3rd, and the end of the grading period, which is the following Thursday. If I'm remembering right, I think you have next Friday off, the 10th. So where it's the 24th, I think the 10th is a student holiday, so we have the 9th. 10th is what? Let's find out. PSAT is on the. Now that's coming up on the 23rd. Yeah, so not next Friday. The Friday after that. The 10th is a holiday for sure. Now that I've checked. Here we go. So, yes. So the end of the grading period is the 9th. So all grades are going to be due next Friday. You're going to have a test next Friday. That's Unit 2. So we need to get into what we're learning for Unit 2. This is part of what we've been learning for Unit 2. And so let's remember how to do this. Can you name a pair of same side exterior? Okay, so looking at these numbers, what two numbers are on the same side but outside the parallels? What do y'all think? What? Okay. Angle 2 and angle 8 are on the to the right of the transversal, outside of the parallels, okay? What about corresponding, where one in and one out on the same side? I want you to write that down, which ones are corresponding, and then go ahead and do the rest real quick. Have you heard the first part of it? All right, so for corresponding, same side, one in, one out. Who can give me an example? 1 and 5 is corresponding. One's in, one's out on the same side. What's an alternate exterior pair? 1 and 8 is correct because they are alternate sides of the transversal and both outside the parallel. What about same side interior? Angle 3 and angle 5 are on the same side of the transversal, in between the parallels. Alternate interior. Angle 5 and angle 4 are both inside the parallels, alternate sides of the transversal. Here we go. Here's the next. Very good. Moving on. What flavor is that? Sounds good. Here we go. All right, folks. All right, this is largely a review of Algebra 1. So if this looks like you've done it before, correct, you have. Okay. We are going to be drawing straight lines. So do you have a straight line device to draw straight lines? Um, sorry they were not put out. It's kind of my bad, TBH, but here, pass them to people who need them. Hey, hey. Okay. So at the top, these are some quick notes on slope. Y'all remember slope from Algebra 1? When I think of slope, I think of like a mountain slope. And if I think of mx plus b, m is my slope, mountain slope. And how do I find slope? I want you to box these in. The easy way to find slope on a graph is to do rise over run. Whoops. You just count the rise up and down. You count the run left and right. Rise over run. Okay. The other way to find slope is to use the slope formula, where you take the y values and you subtract them over subtracting the x values. That gives you rise over run. Okay. So that's old news, rise over run, algebra 1. Let's talk about it. On this picture, I have a line with 2 points, okay? Write this down. Always start on the left. Just like you're reading in English from left to right, or Espanol from left to right. Okay, not Hebrew, not Japanese, nothing else, no manga. Okay, we're talking about left to right reading. Just like you read from left to right, you do slope from left to right. So when I see these 2 points, I'm going to start on the left. This is the furthest left point, point A. Okay. If I'm going to find the slope, I'm going to count the rise over run. So y'all ready? Start on the left. Let's count the rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes up 8. So is that positive or negative? Up is positive. Positive 8. And then, and then how much does it run? 1, 2, 3, 4. So use this line like a fraction bar, okay? 8 over 4. Cool? Now here's the question. What does that reduce to? If you type it into Desmos and hit enter, it will reduce it for you. The answer is 2, okay? 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, now it's just a regular 2. But don't we normally see slope as a rise over run fraction? So let's not forget that a whole number is always over 1. Cool? So 2 means 2 over 1. Keep that in your mind. Now, we need to make a new line. CD. CD line. Well, anyways. Plot point C at point 6, negative 3. So that means 6 on the x, 6 to the right. Negative 3 means down 3. 1, 2, 3. Everybody, put a point right here and put a C. That way you can see it. Do you understand? C. Bilingual joke. Thank you for acknowledging. Muy divertido. What? Well, okay, so now, what is the, use the slope. Use the slope above to find point D. Now, if the slope is 2, go ahead and put over 1. That way we know the rise over run. If we know it's 2, rise 2. And if there's no denominator, you run 1. So 2 over 1. Go to point C, put your pencil here at C. And we're going to rise over run. Rise 2. Run 1. Put a point there. Woo! That was a good sneeze. All right, so did you rise 2 over run? Rise 2, run 1 is what I meant to say. And if you did, put a point there, call it point D. And now I want you to make a straight line. If it's not straight, everyone has a protractor. Who needs one? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Trying to sharpen the protractor? All right, so Straight lines. Now, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. I cannot make a straight line with a protractor because I'm not writing on the screen and all I have is this little writing pad and I can't see what I'm doing. So, anyways, mine might look ugly. Yours can look nice. Ish. Okay, so does that look like something we learned before? What kind of lines are those that look like they're never going to cross? Starts with a P. Parallel. Yay. So what is point? By the way, what is point D here? It's 7 on the x-axis, -1 on the y-axis, 7, -1, right? Okay, so we just made a nice parallel line, which is what we're going to write near the bottom when we get to it. But what about 3? Now, you should have heard about this in Algebra 1. Opposite reciprocal. Maybe your teacher said negative reciprocal or something like that. But we got to know how to do this. So we're going to take that fraction, 2/1, and find the opposite reciprocal. Above opposite, I want you to put a plus/minus. When I say opposite, I'm talking about, is it positive or negative? Bless you, sorry. So positive or negative is the opposite. And then reciprocal is when you take that fraction and do what to it?
Eat it.
Eat it?
What?
No. You flip it. Okay, reciprocal means flip. Here, let me show you. Ready? That'd be cool though, right? What if I could flip out? That'd be pretty cool, right? Should I try for the first time? Like for the very first time. None of y'all are gonna pull out your phones, right? You're just gonna let me do it. Okay.
Wait, what?
No, I'm kidding. I was gonna do a flip.
Oh.
I was gonna do the reciprocal. I'm gonna do it on. Ready? I'm just kidding. Now that I have your attention. Reciprocal means flip. Go ahead and write flip above this. Look, if I could do it, I would do it. I can do a somersault, like with your hand. Like I can also do very easy breakdancing moves. Nothing too crazy. You'll never see them. All right, so let's take 2/1 and change the sign and flip the fraction. So look, 2/1 is positive. So what's this going to be? The opposite of positive is negative. Okay, this is my fraction bar again. And if I flip 2/1, what does that become? 1/2. Negative 1/2 is my opposite reciprocal slope. Okay? So keep that in mind when we're doing number 4. We want to find line GH. So can you plot this line, this point G at -7, +2? So -7 means starting at 0, -7, +2. Put a point right there and call it G, please. Okay, y'all see what I'm doing? I'm taking this point, coordinates, plotting it right here. Now, what I'm going to do is use the opposite reciprocal slope, which is this, right? -1/2. Is that going to go up or down if it's negative? -1 means down 1. And then I always run to the right like I'm in an old school Mario game. All right. So here we go. -1 means down 1. Run 2 is always to the right. Put a point right there. Call it H. Y'all see what I did? Down 1, right 2. That's -1/2. Opposite reciprocal. And what's the coordinates of this H value, this H point? -5, +1. Right? We went down 1, right 2. Like right there. Down 1, right 2. H. And now take that straight edge and make a nice straight line going through G through H. That's not good. That's all right. I'll keep it. All right. So now you have a line going through the other line. So, hey, those first 2 lines never touch. They were parallel. But these touch at a special angle. How many degrees is that angle where they touch? What do you think? What? This right here looks like a 90-degree angle, and it is. What do you call two lines that cross at a 90-degree angle? Another P word. Perpendicular. Good. So what did we end up doing? We made a parallel line, which means same slope, and we made a perpendicular line, opposite reciprocal slope. That is something you should have learned in Algebra 1. So let's write this down. CD, the original line. AB, sorry, AB is the original line. CD is the one we made first. These don't cross. Those are parallel, and they have the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. Cool. What about GH to AB? Well, this one, GH and the original AB, they made a 90-degree angle. We said that's perpendicular. And it has the same, it has the opposite reciprocal slope. Perpendicular has an opposite reciprocal slope. All right, ready? So are we good on this side? Parallel, same slope. Perpendicular is opposite reciprocal slope. Go to the back side. We'll do two examples and I'll be done. Okay. Now, it tells us to graph an equation. How do I graph an equation? Do y'all remember this equation? Y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form, Algebra 1, 101. Don't remember that? Okay, look. There's two numbers here. There's a fraction, and then there's a number out here. Now here's the question. What do I graph first? The m or the b? Who thinks I graph the m first? Who thinks I graph the b first? Who didn't vote? Tough crowd. Don't make me do a dance to get y'all to pay attention. Yeah. All right. Don't make me horrified. All right, here we go. So here's how you know. You gotta graph the B. Okay, B is where you begin. Does that make sense? Okay, when you have nx plus b, B is where you begin. Let's make a little note about that. All right, B is where you begin. So that y-intercept is where you begin. Intercept. So let's plot this 3 on the y-axis. Here's y. Put a point at 3. 1, 2, 3. Whee! Everyone good with the y-intercept goes first. Then you're going to use that slope. Then you're going to rise over run from here. B is where you begin. M is the next thing. M is where you rise over run, left to right. So if I'm rising, not positive 4, there's a minus here. You got to think about it. Negative 4, is that going to rise up or down? Negative means down 4, and you always run to the right. All right, so let's do that. Negative 4 over 5, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, you don't have to do these little marks every time. I'm just visualizing this for you. Hey, those 2 points are going to make a line. Can you please make a nice straight line from 3, down 4, right 5. This is old school algebra 1. You got to know how to do this, and my line is horrible. Let me try this again here. All right, I'm locked in. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. That's pretty horrible too. All right, here we go. Try again, try again, try again, try again. Oh, that's barely. Bless you. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good for freehand. Okay, so B, where you begin. M is your rise over run. Ja'Cory, stay with me. Now, here's what you do for a parallel equation. Ready? We said it's same slope, right? Same slope, which is the M, but you need a different y-intercept, which is the B. All you have to do is change where you begin. Same slope, different B. So I would ask you to give me a different number, but I want to make sure it's spaced out enough. So we're going to change that 3 to a 7. Could be a 6, but it's going to be a 7. Get it? All right, here we go. Y equals negative 4 over 5, same slope, but the y-intercept is going to be 7. So go ahead and put a point at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to begin at 7, and then we're going to have the same slope. Down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then use your straight edge to make a straight line. And guess what we just made? Parallel lines. We're not using different colors because I'm not cute. You can just graph it. I mean, if you got different colors, go crazy. All right. Is this very clear? Clear as day. This is old school algebra 1 last year stuff. Same slope, different y-intercept gives you a parallel lines. Cool? Now, last one on the bottom. I'll let y'all finish. Sorry. Oh, right now, try to graph that bottom line, okay? Second half of the page. Graph the B first, the 2, and then rise over run, negative 3 over 4. See if you can do it before I do it. Can you beat me to the punch, as it were? Does anyone still need this right here? Here we go. All right. Again, what do I graph first? My B. Positive 2. 1, 2, put a point. And then I'm going to rise over run, negative 3 over 4, which means down 3, run 4. Again, I'm going down because it's negative. Use your straight edge to make a nice straight line that actually goes through the 2 points. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so perpendicular. Let's remember from the opposite side is that perpendicular has opposite reciprocal slope. You change the positive negative sign and you flip the fraction. So let's try that over here. Negative 3 over 4. If I'm going to make it perpendicular, how is it going to change? So what's the opposite of negative? Positive. Do I need to put a plus sign? You can just leave it blank. And then reciprocal, 3 over 4 is going to flip to make what? Flip that fraction. 4 over 3. Does everyone see? Look at me with your eyes. The negative became positive. That's the opposite. The fraction flipped. That's the reciprocal.
Is it always to positive? Like if it's negative.
Negatives always turn to positive, and positives would turn to negative. Fraction always flips. Yeah. So we have our new slope. our opposite reciprocal slope. We're going to use that right down here for perpendicular. Okay? So we're going to do y equals, and instead of negative 3 over 4, it's going to be positive 4 over 3. X. And here's the deal. The b doesn't matter. It can stay the same. It can change. Whoops. It doesn't matter what the b is. It can stay the same or change. Okay? We're gonna leave it the same because why not? Okay? Last thing you got to do is graph this perpendicular slope, perpendicular equation. So graph your b first. Positive 2 is already right here. And now my rise over run is rise 4, run 3. Make yourself a nice straight line. I cannot do that with this pad, okay? And there you go. You got it, okay? Okay, so this assignment I'm going to give to you ahead of time. You are working on this tomorrow. I would rather you not turn it in today, okay? Because I might talk about some of these that are a little bit difficult, but start on it, see what you can finish, see what you can do, okay?